So it's a Sunday afternoon, feeling a little bit under the weather. Wanted to do something productive today. I was gonna go to the mall, but decided I'm just not feeling good enough to do that. So I'm just gonna make a video on how to do a resume. Just some simple tips. Hopefully I can help you out. Let's get into it. So these aren't prescription glasses, they just block blue light. I like to keep my vision 20/20 if possible. So we're gonna start with a fresh Google Doc. Basically, when you're writing a resume, you wanna provide all your contact info. So you're gonna wanna include your name, your phone number, your email address, and if you have a LinkedIn URL, I like to include those. A summary of your education should look something like this. You don't have to lay it out exactly like this. I laid out my resume like this, where it says education, and then you'd put the name of your college or university, the degree that you acquired, any type of certification that you have, any type of achievements you've got, which is like the Dean list. And if you have other schools, you would just simply put another space, and for however many schools you went to, you'd put the appropriate information there. Another thing that you want to include, obviously, is a summary of your work experience. This is how I format it. It's your professional experience is how I label it. When you're explaining your job, you want to put more so numbers. For example, I worked at a company called Survey Vitals. We sent out over 9 million surveys. Our partnered hospitals reported improved wait times, improved inpatient outpatient care, positive doctor feedback, and I also received HIPAA compliant certification, and I worked with languages such as Java, PHP, HTML, etc. That's the kind of stuff you want to put. You don't want to put like what you did, it's more so like what you accomplished. You don't want to write what your job description was. For example, my job description for that job would be proficient in these languages, can collaborate in a small group environment, things like that. You don't want to put like, oh, I collaborated in a small group environment in your resume. It's just not something that they want to see. They want to see what you achieved, not what your job description was. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. And if you got to this point, that means you're paying attention. I'm just going to take a short ramen break. I'm not feeling too good. Just wanted something warm. But if you have any recommendations or any comments, just leave them down below. I'll take a look at them, and we'll get back to the video shortly. And if you want, you can also put your past positions. Not all of them you need to write down, like I mentioned. You don't need to put like, I worked at Chipotle for 3 months. If you did work at multiple places in a short period of time, you don't really want to include that because it looks like you can't keep a stable job or you can't work consistently for a long period of time. Obviously, employers don't like to see that. Another thing that employers would want to see is extracurricular activity. So that could come in the form of certifications, student clubs you were a part of when you were in college, any volunteering experience, that's another thing you can put down. Put that in here. Basically, you're proving that you can operate in an environment where you're not getting paid. Because that shows like personal skills and that you're willing to go the extra mile to learn new things, put yourself out there, that kind of thing. Publications, so if you had anything written that was published on a website or a magazine or an article or anything like that, it's good to include it. The formatting is here. And then this next part, it's more relevant towards those who did athletics. It could be even the chess club or robotics or debate, anything that could be recognized as a high school sport. It's good to put in there. You would really want to actually put these in if you're applying for a sports job, for example, like athletic director at a school or a coach of a team, things like that. And arguably the most important part of the resume, apart from your work experience, is your references. Some places require a minimum of 3 professional work references. My current workplace required that. Some places won't, depending on where you work. It could be, a gas station or wherever you're applying to. It just depends on where you're going. Some of my friends use their uncle as a reference. They have different last names, so they couldn't tell. So this is just a basic layout of how a resume should look. Some people like to include their photo. I don't like to include my photo on mine. I'm actually going to provide a copy of this in the description below. You can copy it and you can fill it in yourself. This is exactly how I laid out my resume, and I will provide a screenshot of it at the end of the video. Another thing about writing a resume is you just want to keep it to 1 or 2 pages. If you go anything beyond that, they're probably just going to toss it to the side and be like, all right, next. Employers don't have much time when they're going through resumes. They're looking at tens, maybe hundreds, potentially thousands if it's a very big company. You just got to get the right info on there, keep it short, keep it sweet. They're not going to take the time to read through a 3-page resume. They're just not going to do it. I know I wouldn't do it if I had a lot of resumes to look through. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Let me know what you think. Hopefully it helped out a little bit. I'm looking a little bit grimy. I need to get a haircut soon. I got one scheduled next week, but hope you enjoy it. Cheers.